Present simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They do.
Really? What do they do?
Well, they do their homework.
Wow, that's nice. Which homework do they do?
Well, they do their English homework.
That sounds great.
Present continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They are doing.
Really? What are they doing?
Well, they are doing their homework.
That sounds great. Which homework are they doing?
Well, they are doing their English homework.
That's interesting.
Past continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They were doing.
Really? What were they doing?
Well, they were doing their homework.
That sounds great. Which homework were they doing?
Well, they were doing their English homework.
That's interesting.
Present perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They have done.
Really? What have they done?
Well, they have done their homework.
That sounds great. Which homework have they done?
Well, they have done their English homework.
That's interesting. Present perfect continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They have been doing.
Really? What have they been doing?
Well, they have been doing their homework.
That sounds nice. Which homework have they been doing?
Actually, they have been doing their English homework.
That's interesting.
Past simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They did.
Really? What do they do?
Well, they did their homework.
That sounds nice. Which homework did they do?
Actually, they did their English homework.
That's interesting.
Past perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They had done.
Really? What had they done?
Well, they had done their homework.
That sounds nice. Which homework had they done?
Actually, they had done their English homework.
That's interesting.
Which is simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
They will do.
Really? What will they do?
Well, they will do their homework.
That sounds great. Which homework will they do?
Actually, they will do their English homework.
That's interesting. Present simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It drinks.
Really? What does it drink?
Well, it drinks some milk.
That's interesting. Which milk does it drink?
Well, it drinks warm milk.
Wow, that's lovely.
Present continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It is drinking.
Really? What is it drinking?
Well, it is drinking some milk.
That's good. Which milk is it drinking?
Well, it is drinking warm milk.
That's interesting.
Past continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It was drinking.
Really? What was it drinking?
Well, it was drinking some milk.
That's good. Which milk was it drinking?
Well, it was drinking warm milk.
That's great.
Present perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It has drunk.
Really? What has it drunk?
Well, it has drunk some milk.
That's good. Which milk has it drunk?
Well, it has drunk some warm milk.
That's interesting. Present perfect continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It has been drinking.
Really? What has he been drinking?
Well, it has been drinking some milk.
That's interesting. Which milk has it been drinking?
Actually, it has been drinking warm milk.
That's lovely.
That's simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It drank.
Really? What did it drink?
Well, it drank some milk.
That's nice. Which milk did it drink?
Actually, it drank warm milk.
That's interesting.
That's perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It had drunk.
Really? What had she drunk?
Well, it had drunk some milk.
That's nice. Which milk has it drunk?
Actually, it had drunk warm milk.
That's lovely.
Which is simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It will drink.
Really? What will it drink?
Well, it will drink some milk.
That's interesting. Which milk will it drink?
Actually, it will drink some warm milk.
That's nice. Present simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We drive.
Really? What do you drive?
Well, we drive cars.
That's good. Which cars do you drive?
Well, we drive black cars.
Wow, that's lovely.
Present continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We are driving.
Really? What are you driving?
Well, we are driving cars.
That's good. Which cars are you driving?
Well, we are driving black cars.
Wow, that's lovely.
Past continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We were driving.
Really? What were you driving?
Well, we were driving cars.
That's good. Which cars were you driving?
Well, we were driving black cars.
Wow, that's lovely.
Present perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We had driven.
Really? What have you driven?
Well, we had driven cars.
That's good. Which cars have you driven?
Well, we have driven black cars.
Wow, that's lovely.
Thank you.
Present perfect continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We have been driving.
Really? What have you been driving?
Well, we have been driving cars.
That's nice. Which cars have you been driving?
Actually, we have been driving black cars.
That's interesting.
Past simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We drove.
Really? What did you drive?
Well, we drove cars.
That's nice. Which cars did you drive?
Actually, we drive black cars.
That's interesting.
Past perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We had driven.
Really? What had you driven?
Well, we had driven cars.
That's nice. Which cars had you driven?
Actually, we had driven black cars.
That's interesting.
Which is simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We will drive.
Really? What will you drive?
Well, we'll drive cars.
That's nice. Which cars will you drive?
Actually, we'll drive black cars.
That's interesting.